Hi, Kevin here. This morning I'm going to freeze some celery. Now, celery is one of the aromatic vegetables that I routinely use in soups and stews, including chicken and dumplings and Tuscan bean soup and chili and so on and so forth. So it's really convenient to have the celery in the freezer already cut up and ready to use. All right, this is the freezing technique. Now, I typically just freeze one bunch of celery at a time, but today I'm going to do 3 of them, and I've already trimmed one bunch over here. So what I do is first cut off the root end. And then this can go in the compost bin. Then I'm going to wash the celery, or rinse it really well over at the sink, and then I'll come back. All right, this celery was remarkably clean, so I didn't have to do much rinsing at all. Now, you can freeze the leaves as well, but I'm not going to do that today because these leaves do not look that attractive to me. So off they go, and then into the compost bin. Then I just cut the celery into whatever size I will want. So here's the fat end. I just cut that lengthwise down the middle, and then slice crosswise into, 1/2-inch segments. Of course, if you have a sharp knife, this goes very quickly. Okay, and then I'm going to finish cutting up the celery, and then I'll come back. All right, I've already cut up 2 bunches, so here's the 3rd bunch. And I wanted to tell you that very rarely will a recipe call for 1 whole bunch of celery. Usually you just need 1 or 2 or maybe 3 stalks of celery, when you're doing a soup or a stew. So using or applying the philosophy waste not, want not, if you have to buy a whole bunch of celery but you're only going to use 1 or 2 stalks, you can freeze the rest. And again, super convenient, because I think a lot of people would be much more likely to cook if at least some of their ingredients were already washed and cut up, already prepped. Okay, now I have a big pot of water at a rolling boil over on the stove. So I'm going to move you over to the stove top so I can show you how to blanch the celery. All right, so I have a big pot of water at a rolling boil over here. And what I'm going to do is blanch the celery. And the reason you want to blanch the celery is to kill off the enzymes that would otherwise cause the celery to turn to mush in the freezer. So in they go. And I'm going to let these boil for exactly 3 minutes, and then I'll come back. Start timing the 3 minutes as soon as the water returns to a boil. Okay, meanwhile, fill up a big bowl with ice water. There we go. And as soon as my celery has finished its hot water bath, I'm going to strain it and then put it in the ice water to stop the cooking. Okay, time's up. So now I like to use this gadget. It's called I think it's called a spider, to fish out the celery and plunge it into the ice bath. Yeah, so blanching not only kills off the enzymes that would turn the celery to mush in the freezer, but it also preserves the lovely green color of the celery. Okay, and then you want to chill the celery for 3 minutes. So the boiling time and the chilling time are equal. Okay, I'll come back when 3 minutes are up. All right, I've drained off the water. So now I've lined a couple of baking sheets with flour sack towels. You could use regular kitchen towels here. Here's the baking sheet. And what I'm going to do is put the celery in a single layer on the cloth. And of course, the cloth is going to absorb water from the celery. So I want to be able to freeze this celery without it being all clumped together. If you're only doing one bunch of celery, you really only need one baking tray for this job. Do the other one over here. Spread it out in a single layer, and then what I do is take the cloth and just blot. Same thing here. Yeah, just trying to get most of the moisture absorbed from the celery. Okay. Then I'm going to pop these trays into the freezer and let them essentially flash freeze. Okay? And when they're solidly frozen, which will be probably 30 minutes, I'll come back to show you the next step. All right, the celery is solidly frozen, so what you want to do is just loosen it up and then transfer it to freezer suitable containers. Now, you could use Ziploc bags. I like to use these Pyrex freezer containers because they come with airtight lids. And what's convenient about having them on the cloth is, here, let me show you. Is you can simply pour the vegetable right into the container. In there, did I get all of it? Yes. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing, the other celery, but I'm going to put it in this round container here. And then the celery will stay good for quite a long time. My freezer is set at 0 degrees Fahrenheit, so really the celery could last the whole year. But in truth, I will probably use all of this in 3 or 4 months. And again, when you need celery, it's just really convenient to reach in, grab whatever you need, and throw it in the pot. So I hope this video was helpful to you. I know that when I made the chicken and dumplings last week, I used previously frozen celery, and several viewers said, "Oh, I didn't know that you could freeze celery." So I thought I would just film this little video today. So, all right, going to get this packed up, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. There, let me fix this here. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.